Three Wise Men and a Baby was not a premiere this week. It is most certainly a fan favorite though, so I need to try to do it justice with today's video. I'm a little nervous, but I've got a lot to say this week, so let's dive right in and get to it. Hi, I'm Stephanie, and this is the Magical Movie Club, a place to come and chat about Hallmark Christmas movies. On July 6th, Hallmark re-aired their hit Christmas movie Three Wise Men and a Baby, starring in alphabetical order Paul Campbell, Tyler Hynes, and Andrew Walker. Part of what makes this one so fun is it's a little off the beaten path of what we've come to expect from most Hallmark Christmas movies. Notice when I read off the starring roles, there were no ladies in that list. That's because the main premise of this movie is not a romantic love story. It's about three dysfunctional brothers, all in their 30s and or 40s, and still basically living with their mother. She's been a single parent to all three ever since their father walked out on them when they were young, never to be heard from again. Each of the three men has had lasting issues from that one defining moment in their lives. As much as they love their mother, they do tend to take her for granted, and to top it off, none of them really get along with each other. Let me give you a quick rundown of each of them. Andrew Walker plays Luke, the oldest of the three, and as the oldest, he has felt the most pressure to help out his mother with taking care of his brothers.
Morning.
Good morning. Your breakfast is ready.
Mom, you're too good to me.
He's a firefighter now, who seems to be the most stable and responsible of the bunch.
Since the day Dad left, who stepped up to fill his shoes?
He's actually been trying to finish a house that's under construction.
Is it fire alarm?
It's a doorbell for the new place.
But too many things keep getting in the way of finishing, so he still lives at home.
You're going on, what, 5, 6 years now?
8 months.
The youngest one is Taylor, played by Tyler Hynes. He's a gamer.
Time to take out my insecurities on some unsuspecting strangers.
Actually, he's a gamer who lives in his mother's basement. Again, temporarily, according to Taylor.
We're done here.
Ma! I'll be up in 5!
When he's not designing video games, he's playing video games. The basement is perfect for him because he doesn't get along with anyone.
More specifically, you are a wrecking ball.
His ex-girlfriend broke up with him because he's too disagreeable and difficult.
Being some loudmouth, self-centered, with no regard for anybody but myself.
Is this where we're supposed to disagree?
Wouldn't hurt, wouldn't hurt.
Everything's always got to be about him. And we witness him being fired from his job at Fun and Games when they're discussing the launch of his new game that he's been developing, and he argues over details about the cover art.
You've slapped a snowman on it, and it looks like a handful of marshmallows that somebody stuffed in their pockets.
Apparently that was just a typical day for him, and his boss had finally had enough of his bad attitude and virtually everything.
Well, David, I am Fun and Games. What you are is fired.
And last we meet Stefan, a pet therapist who is absolutely terrified of being around other people.
But from the looks of it, he seems to be in pretty good spirits. So what seems to be the issue with him?
He pretty much hyperventilates when he's in the vicinity of more than one person at a time and pops in some pills to try to calm his nerves.
Too many people. Oh, come on.
He lives in what I would call a guest house in his mother's backyard. And to try to make himself feel better, he always walks into his mom's main house through the front door, which his brothers still tease him about.
Quick question. Why do you come through the front door like you don't live in the backyard?
Now, obviously, it's Christmas time. Actually, when the movie opens, Christmas is a mere 6 days away, and their mother has been trying and trying to get her boys to come together and decorate the tree the way she remembers they used to as a family.
I want one more Christmas the way that it was when you were little, with everybody participating.
She would also like some help with decorating the outside of the house like their neighbor does across the street.
Mark's house
Looks like a Vegas casino.
a very festive casino.
We'll get to him in a bit. Unfortunately, she's always met with excuses to avoid it.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
The story takes off when Luke, who is working a late shift at the fire hall, he hears the doorbell ring. Honestly, I couldn't have told you there even was a doorbell at a firehouse. But I digress. When he goes over to see who's there, he finds a little baby lying in a car seat carrier. There's no one else around, but he does find a note that reads,
Luke, I have no one else to turn to. Please take care of Thomas for me.
So not knowing what to do, Luke takes the baby home to ask his mother for some advice.
He can stay here. And we'll figure out what to do in the morning.
That, and he still has to finish his overnight shift. She looks after the baby for the night, and the next morning they discuss it further.
Do you have a baby? How long was I asleep?
Ultimately, they decide the baby's mother must have been truly desperate to have done such a thing, and they give her a chance to come back by Christmas like she promised.
I'll be back by Christmas, I promise.
After all, Christmas is now only 5 days away, and if she doesn't return, then they'll call child services. On a side note, if you're looking for an inexpensive way to watch Hallmark Channel movies, I'd like to take just a moment to let you know about Friendly TV. I've been a subscriber for years, and I feel very fortunate now to have an affiliate relationship with them. What I like about Friendly TV is, first of all, they're the most affordable live TV streaming service I know, and that includes unlimited DVR and a 72-hour look back with the Classic plan. That means that if I accidentally forget to record a movie, and that does happen from time to time, I still have 72 hours to go back and watch it and still save it as a recording. Both of those features are awesome, and this is how I watch Hallmark movie premieres every week on Saturday nights. So if you're in the US or Canada, use the link in the description below to check out Friendly TV and all they have to offer. There's no additional cost to you for clicking this link, but this is how they know that I sent you there, and it's how I know that you were sent to them through one of my YouTube videos. So thank you for checking them out. And now, let's get back to the movie review. Ah, but it gets even better. Well, worse actually, when their aunt slips and falls and lands herself in the emergency room.
Mom, go. You have to go.
Yeah, I know, but there's a baby.
So their mother leaves the men alone to take care of the baby while she tends to her sister. And that's when the comedy really takes off.
I need your help. Mom said.
I have a client.
Good luck.
Taylor's free.
What? Why are you doing that?
You see, Luke seems to be the responsible one, but the other two don't know how to function as human beings themselves, let alone care for a baby.
But you'll do okay. Luckily, you have help.
That's right. Yeah. Us? What did we do?
But Luke and Stefan have to work, so newly unemployed Taylor gets picked first.
So you're a baby, that's cool. How's that going?
Yeah, that didn't go very well. He had to take the baby to the grocery store with him to buy some formula because he dropped the can they already had and it spilled all over the floor.
Okay, fine.
No.
While he was out, he lost his wallet and apparently banned from 2 different grocery stores in a matter of hours.
Been sneezed on, cried on, spit up on, as well as several other things that I don't care to relive.
Then Stefan took a crack at it, and he thought it would be a great idea to bake cookies with the baby.
I just wanted to make some cookies.
As you can imagine, the kitchen was soon a flour explosion. Stefan was crying, and the smoke alarm went off because the cookies were burned.
It's the only thing that would make him stop crying.
When it was Luke's turn, you know, the responsible one, he took the baby out with him to pick up some toys for a charity fundraiser, and he covered the whole carrier up with a blanket as though the baby were sleeping. It just so happens that another mom with the same baby carrier was there, and a very similar blanket, and this baby was covered up exactly the same way. You see where we're going with this?
Some people really gotta keep a better eye on their kids. All right, well, thanks again.
Yeah, Luke went home with the wrong baby.
Yeah. That's not ours.
Now, I'm going to go right into what I liked about this movie. Actually, there are a lot of scenes I enjoyed, like giving the baby a bath.
Just check the temperature.
Yeah, it's the same as it was before.
Just check the temperature. Make sure you check
the houses.
Or trying to assemble the baby swing. And Luke barging in just when the baby had finally fallen asleep.
Hours we spent trying to get this baby to sleep.
And you come waltzing in from who knows where at all hours of the night.
Even Taylor's conversation with him in the basement and the video games in the background. Yeah, those were all great.
1, 2, 3.
But I think the Christmas market was my favorite part of the whole movie. The brothers had finally made a commitment to put their differences aside and think of the baby first. And come on, taking the baby ice skating and making him giggle, how much cuter does it get than that?
He giggled.
Oh, and the photo with Santa, priceless. Clearly, this movie was never meant to be taken seriously, and that has a lot to do with why it was fun. And I have to confess, it took me a couple of attempts to get all the way through it because I wasn't quite sure I liked it the first time. I know, I'm embarrassed. But every time I go back and rewatch it, I find something new to appreciate about it that I had completely missed before. So, what are some things I didn't care for? Don't worry, I'm not going to debate about the mom situation and dropping off her baby with a bunch of strangers at a fire station. If this had been a more serious movie, I think then that would have been an appropriate discussion. But clearly that's not the case this time. So no, I have to confess I didn't care much for Taylor or Stefan's characters, at least not in the very beginning.
Who here is coming with me?
Nobody likes you.
Even when they were trying to be funny.
Humans, always early.
Well, you may have heard me say this before, but I'm not a fan of making characters appear to be completely incompetent.
Ooh, is that from India?
The first time I saw this, I thought these two are grown men, at the very least in their 30s, if not their 40s, and neither one of them could function as human beings.
Well, well, well. There's a Little Red Walking Hood.
Not today, Mark.
Nice flower. Come with a walker and some fuzzy slippers.
Now, I do understand that a lot of people find that funny, and I've probably just crossed a line there. But you know what? They've grown on me. And I think that finally happened when Luke was out too long with the baby, and they were worried and then chastised Luke when he got home. That was great.
You're like two old ladies.
Well, when you don't hear from somebody all day.
We were worried. We had no idea what you were doing.
Okay.
Now, toward the end, the men felt pressured to finally decorate the outside of the house for two reasons. One being how they felt about Mark, the neighbor across the street. Apparently, Mark had been winning a local light decorating contest for several years.
If you need any decorating tips, let me know. Channel 7's 3-time champ, Spirit of Christmas.
And did I mention Mark was a bully? Yeah, he and Taylor had been going at it their entire lives and they couldn't stand each other.
That guy was bad enough in high school. For once, I would love to shove him in the locker.
Also, they found out that the prize winning for the light contest this year was a cruise, and they wanted to win that for their mother.
You know who's never been on a cruise before? Mom.
So they decided to go all out and come up with a winning light show. They got some help from their friends, Fiona and Susie, who would ultimately become the love interest for Taylor and Stefan, too.
I don't want to disturb your battle for Middle Earth.
But after all that, I'm still not on board with how the light contest played out.
But we got gifts for the boy.
King, he's a king.
He's a king. Yes, we have gold.
There's a lot of room for improvement there. The way they fumbled and bumbled the nativity scene.
It's Joseph, I got you.
Joseph. And a Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Was just bad show. And then I thought the way they were all suddenly best friends with Mark, the lifelong bully from across the street, was kind of hokey.
I got a keg of eggnog. I'm gonna go crush some pints. What do you say?
Yeah, we'll do that. Thanks, man.
Yeah, man, we're in.
But if we take those parts out, I loved the way they were finally able to appreciate each other and especially their mother.
This is an extraordinary gift. I just love it. Thank you.
That alone was truly their mother's Christmas wish, and they made that happen for her.
It's not just the photo, which is extraordinary, but it's all of this. This is the gift.
Oh, and as for the baby's mother, yes, she did come back, and they all lived happily ever after.
It's so much fun with you.
It's been good getting to know you.
See you later, pal.
Don't forget to write.
So how do I rate this one? I know most of you watching this would probably give this at least a 5 out of 5, and I truly love and respect you for that. I just can't quite do it myself. But how about a 4? Will that work? Okay, I think I'd better stop at that and wrap this one up. Oh wait, have you heard that Hallmark has announced a sequel is coming?
At home.
Hello.
We got this.
Yes, you know I'll be watching for it. Speaking of watching, coming up next week is another rerun, so to speak, called Rescuing Christmas. Have you seen that one? I'm thinking of getting a head start and watching it now.
But I really wish
Christmas would disappear.
But after that is a brand new release called A Very Vermont Christmas, starring Katie Leclerc and Ryan McPartlin. I'll have to look them up and tell you what I find out about them. Until then, and as always, thank you so much for being a part of the Magical Movie Club. If you like this too and want to see more, please let me know by hitting the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also consider following us on Instagram at Magical Movie Club and on Twitter at Magical Movie Club with no U in club. You can find those links below in the description, as well as links to the preview and the movie page for 3 Wise Men and a Baby at Hallmark.com. I'll be back next week to chat more about our favorite magical Christmas movies.